So with this one, there's already a video with this, but I know sometimes it can get a little bit confusing. We're basically going to colorize, so add color to this black and white photo. The process is very repetitive. Um, so I'm not going to go through the whole steps. I think after a couple steps, you'll get a pretty good idea on what you have to do for the rest of it. But so something like this should be your end product. I'm not too worried about the colors that you choose to use. You could make his skin purple. I don't care. It's more about the process. So with that being said, I will show you, because one thing that is pretty confusing in that video is the whole refine edge, which I'm going to tell you not to worry about at all. But in the version of Photoshop that he's using, this version, it's just the name has changed. It's still the same location where that refine edge. But again, I'm not going to tell you to worry about that because we're using layer masks, so nothing is permanent. So with this, you want to make sure that you click on this quick selection tool right here. We have it right here. So this is pretty much your settings. You want to make sure that you are highlighted on the background layer, but you shouldn't have any other layers yet anyways. But that is a key thing with this one, is that you will need to make sure that you're highlighted on the background layer every time you start a selection. And I will show you why here in just a sec. But so he starts with the sky. So you're basically going to you're going to click with the left mouse click and then kind of drag around. Don't go too fast. But you can see right there that it did cut off the part of the hat and his shirt. So if that happens, with this, we have the plus. If we hold Alt on the keyboard, we see that it becomes a minus. And then what I would do is just kind of click in the areas that you want to subtract from that selection. Again, don't go too far out because then it'll just delete some of the selection that maybe you wanted to keep. But once you have that, the process is going to be make your selection. Then you're going to go right here to your fill adjustment layer, to solid color. You're going to pick a color, any color that you want. I'm going to go with red for right now. Go ahead and hit OK once you have that color. And then you're going to change the blending mode. So you're going to blend it down. So that's going to be changed from normal to overlay. For the most part, all of the blending modes that he uses is overlay. I think with the hair, color works out best, and eyes you could try overlay, color, or hue. Now so the next part he goes to is the background. And what will happen for a lot of you is that you'll start to go, and then all of a sudden it's doing all that. You're trying to hit Alt to subtract, and it's just not doing what you wanted to do. The reason that is because you are still highlighted on this layer. So make sure that before you make any selection, you re-highlight the background layer, and then see how it just makes that selection pretty quickly. Looks like maybe it gets into the shirt a little bit. Just hold Alt, click in that area, and then you would again go to the fill adjustment layer, solid color. He chooses a green, and then you would blend that down with overlay. So that process is pretty much the same throughout. So again, you would highlight your background. Now I'm going to jump around just so you can see. So the hair, again, make sure that you're on the background layer. For me, one click kind of pretty much gives me that hair. I'm going to go right here, choose my solid color. Let me try to pick a brownish color. And then if I do overlay, it doesn't really seem to do much. If I try hue, it doesn't seem to make any difference. So with this one, with the hair especially, I would recommend doing color because you can actually see the color change. And that's what I would do. Now with the eyes, chances are you will probably make your selection of your skin first. So I'll go ahead and do that. And we see that it goes too far. Just hold Alt and kind of, you can zoom in with Control Plus. You can make it smaller, your selection tool smaller with the left bracket and right bracket. And then I'm just kind of clicking in the areas that I want to subtract. I can even get in real close, make it real small, and try to add this little bit of area too. But once you have this, let's say you're going to pick your solid color. You're going to try your skin tone, which I know this one can be a little bit tricky. Just play around with it. Again, I'm not too worried about the colors that you use. Overlay seems to work fine. With this one, we could try hue now, or color. Actually, color makes it look quite a bit better. So maybe use color for this one too. And you can experiment with the other ones too. Maybe color makes it all look better. Maybe use overlay on other ones. It's up to you. But definitely, I think with the skin and the hair, maybe using color. And then from right here, we see that the eyes are also this color right here. So what we need to do is click on the layer mask of that skin tone color. We're going to click on our brush tool, and with black on top, so if black's not on top, hit X. We are going to paint over those eyes. That way they become black and white again. Now, he may show you a different way in the video, which is completely fine, but this is the way that I would do it. Then what I would do is highlight the background layer, and I would just go straight to a solid color, whatever color eyes you wanted. Hit OK. And then from here, highlight the layer mask, if you can see where my cursor is, right there on the right. Hit Control I, so you don't see any of that color. And then with our brush tool with white on top this time, so hit X. And then you are going to paint over those eyes. We could try overlay with this one. If you want it to be not as subtle, maybe try color. And then you just kind of paint over those eyes. And then that's pretty much it. So you would have all of the areas in color. But those are a couple of the problem areas that I've noticed with the video that people do run into some confusion with. And I think definitely color on the skin, definitely. So hair and skin, I think, should definitely be color.